as a leader who is seeking to be on that edge, and I stress seeking because I am frequently not on that edge, I'm lurching from side to side, but seeking to be on that edge, I know that I have to make journeys when I go as deep as I can into who I am, as deep into the longing that I hold in my heart, as deep as I can to the things that fuel me. So I decided I needed to make a journey, and that was about, it was a year last January. I know that around that time, late Iron Age, AD 40, AD 50, AD 60, people from the tribes were making journeys to Mona for their training, just as I had made journeys to North America to meet with those people there, to learn the ceremonies, to learn everything they could about the invisible world, about the world that sits underneath this world. So I thought, I want to do that same journey. I will walk from where I was born to Mona, sacred isle. But I want to find a way to walk into our land that I can feel her as intimately as I possibly can. And part of the training that I'd received was very helpful to that, because the promise to me was, we will help you find the gateways to your own indigenous past so that you can reconnect that dream and speak it out again and help others feel it. So I decided I cannot walk with a map. So if I walk with a map, there all the places are named. I want to walk blind, as it were. I want to feel my way with the land. So I will navigate using the stars and using the sun. I know that basically from Malvern going to Mona is northwest. At night time I can see Polaris, and I can lay down my stick pointing to Polaris so that when I wake in the morning I know where north is. If I start walking and I feel the sun, I can get the sun on my left hand shoulder, and I walk, I can feel as she comes round, I can keep adjusting myself so I'm heading in roughly the right direction. I want to be with the land, so I don't want to take a tent, because I want to lie on her and be as close as I can, but it's January. It's extremely cold. And in fact, that winter it went down to -15 during that walk, and I had no tent, just a sleeping bag, and I wanted to eat wild food, because I wanted it, and everything that I could, I wanted to be close. So I had dried deer meat, which I dried myself and the whole thing. I had acorn flour, and I'd harvested those. I got various other things, and I spent the whole summer, in fact, assembling this stuff. And then when I tried to pick up my backpack, I had to do a massive resorting. And in fact, a third of the way through the journey, I was on my knees, really, virtually sobbing, finally accepting the fact that at 61 I could not carry the weight that I used to be able to carry when I was 21. And for me, I have to say, that was very difficult. Point of pride, you understand, some of you, I hope. It was amazing, because I knew when I was passing from Cornoviae land into Signori's land. I'm eating very little, weight is just falling off me. A big problem I have is water, because it's all frozen. And in order to heat it, to get water, I need a fire. To make a fire takes me ages, and I've only got one small bit of kindling for one fire, which I'm carrying in my crutch, so that when I get to the place at night, I've got a little bit of kindling to make the fire for the night, because it gets dark at 4:30, and that's hours of darkness before daylight. So I don't really want to use up my little bit of kindling to have a drink. So I'm very dehydrated. I'm burning far more calories than I'm eating. But I feel deep magic. Deep magic with this land of ours. walking into those valleys. There's roads, but it didn't take long. It didn't take long for me to screen out the cars and the roads. I just seen the land. Walking deeper and deeper, and I'm carrying with me a chariot ring from the Iceni, found in Norfolk, dated around the time of Boudicca's rebellion. I'm carrying this ring back to Mona, trying to mend something, trying to reconnect something, to spend my last night in the burial chamber on Anglesey. Because it's the time of year that it is, and it's so cold, and it's such a heavy pack, which it had to be, I'm carrying a lot of food, I'm constantly sleeping on private land. So that meant dodging the landowners as well. So you've got this guy in his, what I like to think of as middle age, trying to run with a pack that was nearly sending my knees bow-legged, under cover of darkness, moving from one wood to another, searching the wood where I could actually hunker down for the night. And some of those places are quite scary, really. But, you know, there were some close encounters. But the feeling in me is fantastic. I feel feral. I feel wild. I feel dangerous. The way I looked. I looked pretty dangerous. I reckon that if anybody saw me, you know, I did look pretty feral. But so deep magic. Took me 3.5 weeks. Night after night after night, tiny fire. Cold, so cold. Beautiful. Little fire, so close, right next to my head. Holes in my sleeping bag, and the embers scorching my hair. But dreaming, dreaming, dreaming. Coritani, Ordovici. Vacanze qua. We have so many courses and things teaching shamanism, but there is only one way. Deep immersion and contact with our Mother Earth. It's not something you go to workshops about and read books about. You go into the dream as deep as you can, and it will hurt a bit, but there is such beauty in it.